Yo, 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 what up, though? What up, though, my peoples? It's your favorite businessman, CEO Rico on CEORicoTV.com. What's the word? Y'all already know. Appreciate the love as always. Your man is in the building. What up, though, everybody? So, how has y'all week been? My week has challenges. I should say that. You know, typically when people have discussions, they kind of like to, oh, everything was okay. It was all right. But some people just give you the real, like, nah, my week was kind of like effed up. It's just real world stuff, because life be lifing. You feel me? Just lifing. But what I always say is, you can't complain about it because complaining ain't gonna do nothing for you. So don't complain. First and foremost, I want to say shout out to all my subscribers, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with your mans for real. Appreciate the conversation, appreciate everything, the back and forth. And of course, y'all already know we're gonna turn up like we do all the time, right? So as y'all already know, Friday 10 p.m. we always in the building every Friday 10 p.m. So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can be notified when we on, because this is our show. Real quick. So I got another YouTube channel. I had it for a little minute, Urban CEO Network. So if anybody is seeing this and y'all like the business content, you want to go over there and subscribe to that because that's where we get cracking with that. So let's jump right into it. I know y'all have seen what has been going on with Shannon Sharp. Man, listen. It's so crazy that Shannon is in this situation. Straight up. Now, we gonna review some videos, of course. We gonna definitely, read this article. I got an article pulled up that I want to go down and, discuss or whatever with y'all. Because ever since the allegation came out, I think it came out it's Friday. I think it popped off like Monday or Tuesday is when it came out. But the craziest thing behind it all, it's kind of like it's always a sequence of events that go on, right? And that's the thing that's always the craziest, because it's like, man, how do people, because we've seen it time and time again. We've seen it happen to other individuals. So it's kind of like how does this how does this repeat itself every single time when someone has, like, let's say a huge bag coming up, or they got like a huge maybe sponsorship or just something really big going on in their career where they have visibility, and it's like something big is about to pop off in there. Bam! Something pop up that's about to take them out the game, and where their career is kind of like at a standstill. And it's crazy because it's always the same thing every time when it comes to men. Every time. And while I try to look at things from both points of view, it's just, as a man, I don't get how someone that has like that status falls victim to this every single time. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. So I wanna bring this up real quick because I want to share this because it dives into what we about to talk about. So blow this up. Hey, another reason I like doing this too is because they I've been seeing in the media that they try to say like black men can't read and all this dumb stuff, right? So it's kind of like well, here's one that can very well, even though I truly don't like reading, honestly. But when you're very good at something, that don't necessarily mean you like it. Anyway, so we got the sexual assault defamation lawsuit. All right. So it says a representative for Sharp called the allegations ridiculous and a statement to page 6, right? But anyway, so this particular article is actually having a quick discussion about another woman that actually accused Shannon Sharp of basically sexually assaulting her. See, the craziest thing to me is it seems like when you have one individual, like one woman that pops up and says something like this, It's so miraculous to me that out of nowhere, all these different women pop up. And it's like clockwork, man. It's to the point where when you see a headline like that, it's like not only do we already know the sequence of events that's about to happen, but two, it's kind of like it doesn't even have a shock value anymore. Like you don't get any like, oh my God, what really? It's like nah. It's like and especially when the instances are so close together. Because remember, the lawyer on the case with the plaintiff, which we actually found out was a woman by the name of uh Shannon called her Gabby, but her name is Gabrielle something. I had just looked it up a little while ago. I forgot her last name. But um she popped up, basically said, he did what he did. And then another one, what's her name? Michelle Evans. It's another chick. Oh, but the plaintiff name is Gabby. And then the lawyer is Tony Busby, which is the same dude that accused Jay-Z of having a sexual assault, well, sexually assaulting a young woman with Diddy a while ago. And it actually came out he never even been in the same room or even seen this woman before. But the same attorney is the one who's going after Shannon Sharp. So, and this article it says a woman suing Shannon Sharp for alleged defamation also alleges in the complaint that the NFL Hall of Famer sexually assaulted her in 2010. Now, this is another thing. I mean, because we kind of got to go down step. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, brick by brick, because every time we see something like this, specifically like this, it's always like a long time ago. And that's one thing I never get, because it's like, I'm not saying that things don't happen. So please understand me, like understand exactly I'm not saying that things cannot happen. But it's one of those things where it's like if something happens, why do you wait so long to report it? And then think about it like this. Typically, when you go like press charges against somebody, or basically like you get the authorities involved and you want something to happen, typically you want it to be like a criminal thing, because it's like, you did something to me that was wrong against the law. You violated me. I want you to go to jail. I want you to be prosecuted, like along those lines. But why does it seem like it's every time it's a civil thing, where it's like it's a monetary value attached to it? Now, I'm not necessarily saying there's anything wrong with, like, if you want it, if pain and suffering, or something like that, and if it's valid, cool. But y'all just go straight for the money. At that point, it's like, bro, it's a money grab. It got to be a shakedown, right? That's the only thing I could think of. So it says Michelle Evans filed suit against Sharp in New York in 2023. See, 13 years later, nearly two years before another woman suing under the name Jane Doe, which we know her name now, accused Sharp of raping her in a lawsuit filed in Nevada earlier this week. Sharp has strongly denied the allegations in Nevada lawsuit, claiming that the relationship had been consensual and called the lawsuit a shakedown. So, New York complaint obtained by Peoples. Evans, who is representing herself, which was another crazy thing too, claims that she had been in a relationship with Sharp for nearly a decade, ending in 2010, when she says they got into an argument over his alleged infidelity. Evans alleges Sharp then requested that the two have sex and that she refused. The defendant proceeded to forcefully subdue me, compelling me to my see. It's just like when you as you reading it, right? Because the quotations mean that she's actually saying this. So if you're actually saying this, it's like the story doesn't make sense. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like when you telling somebody something, I can't just go off just straight up believing you. Like that's done with, because we've seen this too many times where women that just say something and then it's proven that what they was actually saying was a lie. So all that believe all women, that shit is out the window. It got to make sense. I'm sorry, it just does. So it says, so compelling me to my knees, and subsequently engaging in non-consensual oral penetration. Basically mean head, right? The complaint alleges, despite my protest, he persisted in his violation. Evans further claims that claims the assault continued beyond the alleged forcibly oral sex. Therefore, Shannon's coercion escalated as he maneuvered me onto the bed and achieved non-consensual vaginal penetration, all the while proclaiming his intent to make it so no other man will want me. Evans alleges. Like, I'm gonna read this last one and we're gonna talk about it. Though Evans is not suing Sharp for sexual assault, bam, she claims he threatened to ruin her reputation and that the ensuing media commentary was rife with defamation commentary assailing my professional reputation. Reputation. My bad. So having that like just reading through this, right? There's so many holes to the story because I'm gonna say it like this. Let's just let's go back. So 2010, this pop off between you. Y'all was dating. Y'all was dating for a while. He was cheating. That's what y'all got into an argument about. And he, whatever, he was about to leave or whatever, right? So if that's what ended your relationship, I don't get it. Like, I wouldn't see like, okay, I'm gonna force you to get on your knees to, give head, and then I'm gonna maneuver you and forcefully put you onto the bed in order to, have my way with you. That doesn't seem legit because hear me out. If let's say just a woman, whatever, because I was going, because mainly men, we kind of we come here and we kick it or whatever. Women don't really like enter the room because women they more so want their feelings to be um in the conversation to where you making them feel good, and we don't do that because that's not the truth. How is it that if he did all this to you, you didn't go report it to the police? Because it's in violation of you, your rights, your body, all like that. How do you not go report that? And then why do you wait 13 years to file a lawsuit? But it's not even for that, it's for defamation. But then you bring this up as well. And then no attorney wanted to represent her. Not a single attorney wanted to represent her. That don't make sense either, because it's kind of like if he got a bag and you clearly have evidence that shows that he did this, it's an easy open and shut case for you. You gonna get paid if that's what you want. But that wasn't the case. So it's always gonna make you just raise that eyebrow, like, wait a minute, what? Like, I don't believe you. It don't make sense. So we gonna transition over because we actually got the video, the recording of him having a conversation with his accuser, which, like I said, her name is Gabrielle something, but we're just gonna call her Gabby. And crazy thing is, I guess she OnlyFans chick, right? So let's hop into that because that one is yeah, we definitely gotta we gotta see what Unc on, what type of time he on.
Like get mad at and you're just gonna hang up on me, so I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
what does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
oh Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
So Pete, right? Just by simply hearing that conversation, right? Now, mind you, when you listening to the video, right? I want you to also be aware that video has been edited. The audio was edited, so that's not like a straight, clear cut all the way through. You hear the entire conversation. Nah, they pieced that together. So right there, that's an indication that, okay, you're trying to relay a certain message to the audience to where they take a side. And the person that's not truly thinking for real, they just gonna fall right into it, like, oh my God, he's a monster. He did this, he did that. Now, one thing that when you read into everything, she supposedly says that he did this in October of 2024, and then he did it again January of 2025. But here's the crazy part. The plot thickens, right? He had $100 million contract that he was about to get for the podcasting and everything, for all his shows and everything like that. He had 100 million that was coming his way. Few days after that was announced, because his current contract is ending. Soon as that came out, bam, lawsuit comes in, 50 mil, bro. $50 million payday. And it's what? April? So so supposedly happened in October and January, but then you wait all the way until now to supposedly he did all these things to you. Then that whole audio was a setup too. So that was another thing. So it's like when you start putting it all together, it's like, hold on, bro. Wait a minute. Then your attorney is the same attorney that went after Jay-Z. The exact same attorney. So off rip, you're not even really getting credibility right there, because your attorney is on some, as they call them, like ambulance chasers. Like they just chasing something to try to get a payday, right? But effed up though. He effed up in one part, and we gonna go over. But we gonna get into this video first.
To my family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself because this isn't right. This is all being orchestrated by Tony Busby, who has targeted Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a sex tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine. That video should actually be 10 minutes or so. Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I would myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup, coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans. Gabby and Tony Busby want $50 million. What they're getting is sued for defamation and trying to take me down. My career is all about real talk and honesty. I know my family and fans know exactly what this is about. And I'm going to be out there telling you whatever I need to say, just like I always do. I love all you guys. Thanks.
Now, that was his message, right? He had to get out in front of it, which I respect it, because your image is everything. This is one thing that I learned from Kevin Samuels. He was basically explaining that it was specifically, to black men, but your image is everything. So that's why you should basically, like, when you step on the scene, you should always be dressed to impress, always keep your face taken care of, you be well groomed, smell good, all like that, because your image is everything. So I completely understand that. Now take it into, this realm where you have somebody that has significant visibility. It matters so much more. So him coming out here and basically saying like, yo, this is a shakedown, this ain't really what's going on, stuff like that, mad respect. You feel what I'm saying? Now, it says that he was about to close on a podcast deal that was worth more than 100 million. Now, mind you, um got like, how many shows? I know he got one called Nightcap. He has the one that is Nightcap, is Club Shay Shay. He had another one that was supposed to be like a little spinoff with Ocho Cinco, his chick. And so he Unc out here working. You feel what I'm saying? He's working. So seeing that and him having that issue is really bananas to me. You feel what I'm saying? We got some quick comments. And my man's Charles in the building. What up, though, bro? I don't know if Shannon did what they are accusing him of, but he should be ashamed of how reckless he is being with his meat. So I hear you, right? I hear you. But and I agree with you to a certain point, but I disagree. Here's why. I agree with you because it's like, bro, you have a significant status, you have significant visibility, you're worth a lot of money. If Shorty is a OnlyFans, off rip right there is telling you it's money attached to it. Now, if he was a person that was a pay to play, I'm not necessarily mad at him because he's busy, he's always working, and it's kind of like, does he really have time for a relationship to really put into a relationship with somebody? I don't know. I can't say yes. I can't say no. But I know when a man is significantly busy, he has a number of different things. Women don't really like that. Even though they try to say, they want a man of a certain status and a certain stature, they want these things, they don't really know what that really entails. So it's kind of like why can't he, have a little fun, smash chick here, whatever. But my thing is, if you gonna do all that, if you gonna move that way, bro, protect yourself. Have the NDAs in place. Have certain stipulations in place. Don't be saying crazy stuff over the phone, because it's like that whole conversation didn't even sound like it was a threatening conversation, and that's only because I know the way I talk to my babe sometimes and how we talk to each other sometimes, and depending on what their relationship is. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like and then here's the one thing. When she said, and the way she said it, I don't really want to be choked. It was like the way she said it was as if she liked that type of stuff. And I'm not even trying to dive deep into it, but come on, y'all. Y'all know, y'all, I call it this. I call it the caking voice. Like when it start getting nighttime, and then like let's say you on the phone talking to somebody that you rock with, and then it's like your voice get real low. Like if you're a dude, your voice get kind of deep. You know what I'm saying? And then if you're a chick, your voice get real low, but you try to sound real sexy. You get what I'm saying? That's kind of what I heard old girl doing. I don't know if y'all heard it, but I heard it. Cause I done heard plenty of people trying to cake on the phone. So when she said it, I'm like, nah, bro, that's a whole setup. You feel what I'm saying? It's definitely a money play. My man said Shannon is really trying to be a porn star out here in these streets. Hey, I mean, if my man if that's what he wanted to do, I mean, if it's a bag there for him, it is what it is. That's all I can say. I'm not necessarily mad at Unc. I'm just mad at the way he moving, because he moving like he kind of moving stupid. You know what I'm saying? Auntie say Shannon is only doing what a lady is allowing. She just out for the money. I agree. I really would agree. But here's my thing though. At what point did she decide to do this? Like, what was it? Was it she got mad because he had other shorties? Because y'all remember the one video the one leaked audio that had came out a little while ago of Unc basically getting busy. You heard him getting busy online. That was like the end of last year, earlier this year, something like that, somewhere in that time frame. So if he was already messing with old girl, it's kind of like you already know what type of time Uncle's really on. You know he was out here smashing different chicks. So, like, what made you mad to where you wanted to do that and just change on him? That's where it's really like what happened. She was really too calm. That was a turn on for her. All the exact. See what I'm saying? Exactly. That's exactly what it was. And I feel the exact same way. That's how Shorty really was rocking. And that's why it's so crazy, man. It's just like at what point did you change? Yeah, man, Unc is out here moving like a YN instead of hey, I agree 100%. He definitely is moving like a YN instead of an OG. Cause man, it's just when you got that much money on the line, bro, you do not move the way you would when you was in your 20s. Like Shannon even got I can't, what was it on? I can't remember what he was on. But he was having a conversation and he was explaining on the time he got caught in a chick crib, by I guess by her one dude. Like it happened to him twice. And he said after that he'll never go over no woman house. It's like, bro, women has damn near been your demise since the beginning. Like since you was balling, I think he said it was in college or whatever. He almost got offed because he was rocking with the wrong chick. So it's like at this point in the game, bro, you should know what you should be out here doing and what you shouldn't be doing. You feel what I'm saying? Now I got some audio from from another video, but it's actually some women speaking on it.
Shannon Sharp
So let's hop
saga.
into that
All
real
right.
quick.
Disturbing audio of Shannon Sharp exposed. We're going to get into it. Here it is.
Well, what? Yeah.
No, we ain't listening to that. We already
Saying,
heard that.
quote, I'm going to effing choke the out of you, end quote. She began the consensual relationship with Sharp later.
I don't like
I
this
wonder
dude that
why
much.
Tracy Ellis Ross is happily single, and I wonder why Tracy Ellis Ross.
All right, real
Some
quick.
context.
So as we get into this video, right? I want y'all to listen to it because I did listen to it a little bit, right? What I want y'all to pay attention to is because we always have this conversation amongst, men and women on the internet. Now, here's one thing that I definitely learned. I learned that if you turn the TV off and go outside, it's a completely different reality than what is on the internet. But we have to also understand that the people that's on the internet, they are making so much noise out here to where it's like you can't just deny what they're saying. So that's why we got to have the differentiation amongst the two. Well, listen to these black women.
Here's some of those responses.
And y'all wonder why Tracy Ellis Ross is happily single, and as far as we know, Regina King is single. And
I don't care what nobody say. When women get so old and by themselves, all that they happily single, that is some bullshit. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up. Don't nobody want to be single. Nobody in general. Like everybody want to clap some cheeks. You feel what I'm saying? Like why y'all here lying? Don't believe that.
Regina Hall is single, and Nia Long is now single because the men in their proximity, their direct proximity, not only their proximity, their age mates, out here doing like Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp is a prime example of all of these men talking about women they just gonna be alone. But behind the scenes, you texted a 19-year-old teenager about big black baby gravy.
Start dating in your age bracket and maybe you won't have these problems.
See, there's some old women that start getting pissed off because he dating younger chicks. But now let's be 100. When a man gets to a certain position in his life, I mean, especially if he got the status and the money and everything, he can kind of do whatever the hell he want. Like, let's just be 100 because all the women want him, not the other way around. So it's like to tell a grown ass man, oh, they in your age range. It's like, no, if I don't have to, I can do whatever the fuck I want when I want. You just mad because you can't get me and I don't want your ass. You feel what I'm saying? It's like y'all gotta stop with that because like the old girl that was in the first video, she said Tracy Ellis Ross out here happily single and all like that. That lady even said she's dating younger men, and we gonna talk about that later. But yeah, don't be believing this bullshit that these women be on. Like it just be sounding stupid.
I said what I said.
I would like to know less about you. I would like to know less. Do.
I remember when
I don't even know what that was about. Old girl doing that whole singing thing. I have no idea what the hell that was about. That just didn't even make sense to me. But that's the commentary. Ain't that crazy? Like they talking mad shit because he in a little situation, but it's like, bro, my thing is this. I get sick of this whole entitlement thing where it's basically people, I'm not gonna say people, when it's black men, black women are always coming out saying that's what you get. Um, you should have been dating your age range, things like that. I feel like that's very unfair. You feel what I'm saying? And just like, he was dating he was rocking with a snow bunny, right? Hey, listen, I'm for you being with what you are. So if you are white man, white woman, Asian, black, I'm with that. But I'm also okay to people going outside of their group and going in other groups. It is what it is. You feel what I'm saying? And if you mad about it, that's kind of something that you just got to deal with on your own. But black men in general, I don't really ever see black men saying to black women, "Oh yeah, you should be dating a black man," or that's what you get. You should have been with a black man, or saying some ignorant shit like that. It's kind of like a baby girl. If you want to go date white dudes or Asian, who gives a fuck? Go do it. Bye. Like seriously, like go. Who cares? Go be happy if that's what the fuck you think you want. And if you think that you're gonna get more, by all means, go do it. So it's like, why can't those black women say the same thing in return? You feel what I'm saying? But one thing you will see though, when you hop on the internet, you do your little search or whatever, one thing you will see is the women that are going to go do it, they completely change who they are in general. They're more soft, they willing to spend more money. Oh, like it's crazy on how they just like switch. You feel what I'm saying? So this next one I want to show y'all is really crazy to me because this is the very first time where I've seen a woman like have a opinion about something, and I actually agree with it. Maybe I said that wrong, but I don't care because I mean, you know, if a woman is speaking some smart shit, I'm rocking with her. But typically they don't, especially ones on the internet. But here, I had to agree with Shorty. I'm not even gonna lie.
And she asked him to put a condom on, and he did not. That's some of the allegations that she's making. So that's her claim of essay, right? Mm-hmm. He's saying this is just foreplay of how we talk. I don't think when he said, you know, I'm gonna come over there and choke you, that didn't sound like foreplay to me. I do think there's part of the conversation that we're not hearing. I do agree with that.
All right, I disagree with her on that foreplay part. I'm not agreeing with her. I think that's the way that they talk sometimes. So, yeah.
Which begs the question, Shannon Sharpe, you are a 55, 56-year-old man that is a veteran in this business. And you, yeah, we can say she set you up, but the main person that set themselves up is you, Shannon Sharpe. You should know better by now. I don't understand high value men that continue to get caught up in situations like this. Now, at the end of the day, this very well may be a case of there was no SA, but it's just like we don't professionally, ESPN is not going to be happy about these personal details being out in the streets because it's disgusting, right? It's not a good look for these corporations, Disney Corporation, the parent company. It's not good. So you very well may be innocent of a crime, but guilty of being stupid.
Now, she is absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because you are an OG. I don't understand why you're like he was moving that way. Now, I don't know if it was one of those situations where it was like a I don't know, like I guess he wanted her more or he liked her more because I just can't seem to understand how you get yourself into that situation. I just don't get it. Now, hold on. Cuz I'm trying to had a guest speaker popping up, but she talking about the link ain't working. Hold on, 2 seconds, y'all. 2 seconds. Just let me see what's up. I don't know why the link is not working. Copy it and paste it into the URL, and it might work that way. But I lost my train of thought, so we gonna read a comment. Oh yeah, that lady named Tracy Ellis Ross and Nia Long and Shannon don't want any black women. Laugh my fucking ass. I mean, hey, everybody got a preference, man. Like you can't be mad at nobody for their own preference. Well, I don't know. I don't know. This is probably why we see rappers and entertainers passing around the same women in their circles because they already know the deal and they don't file lawsuits trying to get money. So you got a point, right? And that was a question that kind of popped up in another panel discussion that I was listening to, where it seemed that the entertainers and the rappers they passed around like the same women. Prime example was my man's, what was his name? Edward Johnson, I think it was. We talked about him a few weeks ago with his baby mama situation, who was little baby's baby mama. That kind of popped up because it was one of those. I was talking to my babe about it, and I'm like, I don't get why they do that type of stuff. Like, why do they get a woman get her pregnant, and then she go to another dude, that dude gets her pregnant, and it's kind of like they pass them all around. Is it like unnecessary, like they won't file lawsuits? I don't know, because they get them pregnant, and then as soon as they get them pregnant, after the lawsuit, you got child support, and these child support payments be astronomical, bro. So you definitely raised a very valid point. And that's one thing I really thought about, but I still come down to is like, I don't know, because why not just go find, like, I don't know, why not go like find a chick that's like real cute but like not known? Like, what is it about these certain chicks where it's like they already in the industry? Because it's like when they're in the industry and they're a part of that life already, they may, Anthony Edwards, thank you, they know how stuff goes, but it's still like a, yeah, I'm just waiting on you to F up a little bit because it's definitely money that's gonna be involved. That's kind of how I see it. Like, real talk. So, but yeah, Unc, he messed up big time, dog. Like, he $100 million contract that was on the line. That's now basically null and void as of right now. He also had to step down from ESPN. Well, he didn't have to, but he stepped aside. And because he stepped aside, he basically, it was just like a, hey, I'm gonna leave before y'all fire me. Because Disney owns ESPN. So it's kind of like you effing up the brand. And let's put a little cherry on top. Would you invest your money behind somebody that's supposed to be the brand, your in front of your brand, the face of your brand? Would you put $100 million behind him? That's a lot of money. Would you put that money behind him? And you got your parent company that sells all this stuff to kids, and the person that you investing in is in front of the audience, and on top of that, with a white woman. And I ain't going into like the whole, racism and all like that, but we got to call a spade a spade. You feel what I'm saying? Like, Disney, that's been around for well over 100 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm pretty sure they got some type of racist tie somewhere. You feel what I'm saying? It just don't look good. And then supposedly you graping her and all. Come on, man. True, but some sign agreements within the industry. Far as what do you mean? Far as like on a baby mama aspect, or far as like if we just effing around? Like, which one you mean, Auntie? That's the industry money. Hey, listen, it is what it is on the industry money. We're gonna give him a quick second to respond because I want to know what she's talking about. She say some signed an agreement within the industry. Cause I ain't never heard that one before. Like, do you mean like they signed a, like, kind of like a blanket agreement that they just know, like, hey, you getting into this type of life, can't never open your mouth. But then it posed the question of, if that was the case, who is the agreement not necessarily with? Because you got to have like the meeting of the minds with with the parties. So it's kind of, because at that point it's like, if it's like a blanket thing contractually, it's kind of like, well, somebody has to be like the puppet master behind that to bring that contract to, like, bam, you weren't supposed to do this. Now I gotta hit you with this lawsuit type stuff. Well, let's move along, guys. Cause like I said, Unc out here tripping. So we're gonna talk about Elon Musk. He's returning back to Tesla. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. So, as y'all already know, Elon Musk was a part of Doge. He basically was running Doge. However, due to him being in Doge, he lost, like, Tesla profits has dropped tremendously. I think they profits like decreased like 71%, which of course for any company, that's tremendous. I know they stock, hold on. We're gonna look at their stock real quick. Cause I know their stock was going. Look, hold on, I'm about to show y'all this. Cause this is very important, man. And it's just like learning this, right? Let's bring it up. So it says right here. So Tesla shares have declined 41% year to date, making it the company's worst quarterly stock performance since 2022. Tesla did not provide updated full-year guidance, saying it plans to revisit its 2025 outlook in the second quarter update. Now it says Tesla earnings crashed 71% as auto sales stall, factory reworks, and whatever else. Now here's the thing. Now, is this bad? Yes, it can be. Definitely. But it's also opportunity. Now, for the people that actually invest in the stock market, this is definitely a great opportunity for you if you are a person that buys into Tesla, because right now that stock is on sale. Now, here's the thing. I know some people, they get real scared when stuff is popping off in the stock market. That's kind of like why you need to be like, you need to have your own game plan in place, because when it comes to Tesla, I literally seen that, like, it literally rides off the back of Elon. Now, when Elon jumped into the political realm, he became public enemy number one. Basically, he put money behind Trump. He got he's what does they call it, a complimentary government official or something like that. People don't like him because of that, and that's why they was doing the whole bombing of the Teslas and everything like that, which is outrageous. But that's what they was doing. His company has now been suffering because of that. So now he's basically about to see, he's like, yo, I can't let my company fail. So let me go ahead and get away from Doge and get back out here. So let's listen to that real quick.
Has reported their earnings, first quarter earnings yesterday was Tesla. And Tesla, the stock is now up, but yesterday their net income was announced. It's down 71%. And Elon Musk even said, he admitted that Tesla faced a lot of blowback from his ties to Donald Trump. And now he's talking, and we're going to play a little snippet of it. He says, you know what, maybe I better go back to the car company because they need me.
Starting probably in next month, May, my time allocation to Doge will drop significantly. So I think I'll continue to spend, a day or two per week on government matters for as long as the president would like me to do so, and as long as it is useful. But starting next month, I'll be allocating far more of my time to Tesla. And now that the major work with establishing the Department of Government Efficiency is done, there are some challenges, and I expect that this year will be there'll probably be some unexpected bumps this year. But I remain extremely optimistic about the future of the company.
So investors are happy to hear that, hoping he's going to refocus his efforts on Tesla. He's saying it's because political sentiment, he thinks, and the uncertainty in the automotive and energy markets. But he has some plans coming up. He's on track to launch this robo-taxi business out of Austin, Texas, within the next few months. And then he said the second half of next year, 2026, he's going to have millions of Teslas operating fully autonomously. So are those the self-driving Teslas?
And the other thing is robots. He's got the Tesla robots rolling out. And if you see some of this video, the robots are more athletic than us. I mean, they can go down a mountain. They could do a tough mutter. So, and I need somebody that understands me. And I'm hoping that this robot could be one of the people.
That's why when you would watch the Jetsons back in the day, you identified with Rosie.
Right. Absolutely. Rosie
Rosie the robot.
Was the housekeeper.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Did a great job. She had wheels.
Was the robotic
right? Didn't she have wheels? What Elon Musk has.
They took it way back with that cartoon. I remember that cartoon too. But it's crazy because for it to be so old, it was so far into the future, which is really bananas. But yeah, Elon Musk. The crazy thing is, like, I know sometimes, like, the way people brains work, they have to do so many different things. And how do I know this? Is because that's kind of how I am. I kind of get myself into situations where I don't need to be at, because, like, I always need to be doing something, right? Now, Elon, not only is he a part of Doge, but Elon still got 3 companies that he runs. He got Tesla, SpaceX, and Starlink. Now, mind you, SpaceX, you shooting rockets into space. Starlink, that's where the connectivity, like where people can use cell phones or get a cellular signal in remote areas where they typically wouldn't be able to. And then you already know Tesla is the cars. But not only that, like Tesla, he got it to where like the cars are basically becoming self-driven cars where they can drive themselves. You got the robots coming out. Like Tesla, I mean, Elon has so many different things he got going on. He got to get back to business. I mean, investors are pissed off. Stock is down. I mean, yeah, he's got to he got to get back to it, man. Let's look at. I want to show y'all on Google Finance. Let's see where the stock is right now. Oh, it's right here. I'm sitting here talking about it. So right now, as you can see, they stock is at 284. Now, where's their 52? It closed at 259. I'm trying to see something real quick. These are the numbers, revenue balance, cash flow sheet. But this is not what I'm looking. I just want to show y'all this one thing real quick. Yeah, they don't have it. Year to date. Year to date, of course, they losing money. 5 day, they up 50%. 1 month, they down. All right, they don't got it on here. On my Robinhood, I know they got it for sure. But I was about to show y'all the 52-week low. And if you see it, once numbers start getting back down to 52-week lows, if you truly believe in the company for real, that is definitely the time you want to buy for real. When it's low, especially when it gets really low. Like here, it was at a high, like look at this. It was at 479 December 17th, 2024. And then it slowly trickled down, with all the things that was going on with him in the news. And then now it's at 222. Guys, listen. When stuff goes like this, and then you see it's all the way down here, you got to buy it. Straight up. That's how you make money. You got to buy it. Because everything that he's doing, and he's about to go back to putting his focus on his company, this stock is going to shoot back up. Guaranteed. March 10th, it was at 222. I should have bought some then, but whatever. So that's something we definitely had to have a conversation about. We about to move along though, but that we had to hit on that because it's very important. Now we about to get into situation that popped off for RFK. Now he announced that they are banning food dyes in the U.S. food supply, which is actually very good. Why? Because a lot of those food dyes and everything, that actually has been causing like the ADHD, the autisms, okay, let me rephrase that because I know sometimes YouTube doesn't like that. But basically it's been linked to these certain issues that pop up within children. I got to make sure I say it correctly because YouTube will get upset about it and turn the video off. No, I don't want that. Because we don't do this for fun. We do this for a purpose. So let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about like food dyes in America basically allowing for these food companies to put all these different things, artificial flavors and bioengineered products and all like that into the food sources, then they give it out to the citizens. Now, I've been started like a while ago where I decrease like sugar. I don't really rock with. I don't eat candy whatsoever. Besides Smarties, I eat Smarties every now and again. That's like my one weakness when it comes to candy. Smarties, chalk candy. I don't know what it is about it. But no sugars. Processed foods, decrease that to almost zero. Pastas, all that type of stuff it's damn near obsolete because it really has no significant nutritional value for you and it doesn't do anything to make you fat. So it's like it has no true benefit. So it's one of those things where it's like when you look at it like, dang, does does our own country truly care about us to where they just allow the food companies to, you know, pump this stuff into the markets? Now, on the flip side, you got to ask yourself, well, you do have a choice on what you want to buy. So, can you necessarily blame them? It's kind of like, yeah, no. But I feel like as an adult, you usually got to do what's best for you. But let's dive into it for a little bit.
Thank you. Thank you, Deputy Commissioner DeMontis. Good afternoon, Mr. Secretary, Dr. Bhattacharya, Governor, Speaker, the many Maha moms and the kids here supporting the effort. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's great. Today, the FDA is taking action to remove petroleum-based food dyes from the U.S. food supply and from medications.
Now, remember, petroleum is gas. So, like petroleum jelly, Vaseline, all like that, that is a byproduct of gas. Didn't know y'all knew that, but yeah.
For the last 50 years, American children have increasingly been living in a toxic soup of synthetic chemicals. The scientific community has conducted a number of studies raising concerns about the correlation between petroleum-based synthetic dyes and several health conditions, such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, obesity, diabetes, insulin resistance, cancer, genomic disruption, GI issues, as I've seen in the hospital, and allergic reactions. For example, this Lancet study conducted a randomized, double-blinded, placebo-controlled study on food dyes and concluded that artificial colors in the diet, quote, result in increased hyperactivity. So why are we taking a gamble? Parents, moms and dads, have also tried to raise attention to the issue. Some parents have observed that these chemicals cause hyperactivity and even aggressive behavior, and that it subsides when the chemicals are removed from the diet of the child, and sometimes even reoccurs when those petroleum-based chemical dyes are reintroduced. As I know from my experience taking care of children as a doctor, you have to always listen to the mom. Other studies have found that artificial colors that create vibrant colors mess with the child's developing brain to make ultra-processed foods more attractive, even when the child already feels full. These studies have associated food colors directly with obesity and diabetes. Well, America's children are sick and suffering. 41% of children have at least one health condition, and 1 in 5 are on medication. The answer is not more Ozempic, more ADHD medication, and more antidepressants. There's a role for those medications, but we have to look at underlying root causes. The F in FDA stands for food. Now, there's no one ingredient that accounts for the child chronic disease epidemic. And let's be honest, taking petroleum-based food dyes out of the food supply is not a silver bullet that will instantly make America's children healthy. But it is one important step. This administration is not interested in continuing down the path of doing the same old things as we watch our nation's children get sicker. We need fresh, new approaches.
I would agree. I would definitely agree. Now, here's my only thing. So these studies that he's referencing, a lot of studies have already been like published, have already been ran, and they've like people have been knowing these things for years. And my one question is always, okay, because when they come have press conferences, or when certain um, things come about, they always ask the questions, well, why do you do this? Well, why do you let these companies do this? I honestly believe only certain people is going to say, like, they have their own agenda, but only certain people are going to raise this issue, like RFK, because I remember, like, I have his book, and listening to his book about certain medicines that they put inside of our body, stuff like that, it causes certain things. Now, one thing that I learned was it was that let food be thy medicine and let medicine be thy food, because the food that you eat is going to react with your body a certain way. So if you putting a whole bunch of BS in your body that don't process, these type of issues you're gonna have: obesity, your brain development is gonna be slowed, all these different things. So I always ask the question like, well, why do y'all allow this to go on? But one thing that just as time went on that I just kind of like took upon for myself, it's not another man's job to feed me or mine. It's my job to become more educated and to safeguard myself and my family. Why? Because I would rather avoid potential issues that could arise rather than a issue present itself and then now I'm basically being reactive instead of proactive. You feel what I'm saying? That's why, like, during the whole COVID thing, when they was giving out the jabs, it was no way in the world I was putting that in me, and it was no way in the world I was putting that in my family under no circumstances. F all that. Got a comment. So, do you think any of this has to do with the things he did while working for the government, is being so aligned with Donald Trump, or the fact that Teslas have been catching on fire? Charles, I honestly forgot. I'm confused where that came from, honestly. Fill me in. I know we was talking about it, but I kind of forgot. Like, I'm a little confused on that part. I think that is crazy that they're still selling us that stuff in the United States because they make the healthier products and sell them to other countries that don't allow the food colorings. I agree, because I definitely remember seeing something on social media a little while ago when they was basically doing a comparison. So, like, let's say ketchup, for instance, the ketchup that we have in the U.S. and the ketchup I think that was in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, it was same company, same brand, completely different ingredients. I honestly believe so. I actually had a conversation with my babe about this because I've been really like thinking about these things, and it just sometimes it doesn't make sense from a business perspective, right? Why am I going to put all these different preservatives and everything inside of this product that is potentially killing my customer? But then I thought about it like this. Well, one, if I can decrease my cost to create this product and sell it for the same amount, or as time goes on, inflation, it goes up, but let's say my cost still remains relatively slow, and I mean low, and I pump it out in volume. Well, if I'm killing my customers over time, I can still reap all the benefits of making them money. And 9 times out of 10, they won't be able to directly link this to my company because they have so many different foods that have all the different preservatives that are also going to be, a part of this equation. Then not only that, add the fact of you're unhealthy, not exercising, and then add in the medications and stuff like that over a long period of time. I kind of can get away with it for a very long time. So I do believe that it's crazy that we in the US, we allow these things to happen when other countries veto it completely. But at the same time, I do also know that we as Americans in the United States of America, this is a marketplace. So businesses are going to get favorability. Businesses are going to have a significant amount of money to where they have people lobby on their behalf to where it gets bills and things passed to where they can do whatever. That's what I honestly believe. So moving on, we definitely I want to talk about the I want to have a conversation in regards to the Tracy Ellis thing, right? So I'm about to find that real quick because I feel like that's something that definitely we should have a conversation about seriously. The additives are making people addicted to the product, so that's why they keep adding them so you can keep coming back. Absolutely. That's where that whole sugar component comes into play at. Like I learned that one, it's their marketing, like, and they're not even marketing to children. They're marketing to I mean, not children. They're not marketing to the adults. They're marketing to children because when they see all the different colors and everything that's on the boxes and stuff, they're it's triggering to them. And they don't put the products like all the sugar and all like they don't put it at the top. They put it at the bottom so the kids can see it and the kids can want it. And then when the kids eat it, they get, the sugar and the carbs and all like that over and over. Yeah, then they get hooked. And if I get you as a kid, you're gonna be hooked for life. Feel what I'm saying? So with this one, with Tracy Ellis Ross, it was one I didn't watch the whole thing, right? But I found it extremely funny because she's on Michelle Obama's podcast. And on Michelle, like her numbers is, kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, like she definitely is getting numbers up here, right? This particular video is almost at 500,000 views, but um, the conversation that they were having, I'm trying to find it. Trying to speed past a lot of this because I honestly believe a lot of the conversations that they have. I'm not even gonna necessarily say people shouldn't have conversations because that would be wrong. That's like a censorship type ordeal. But sometimes like you can't listen to certain people depending on what the results that you want. And I say this because Tracy Ellis Ross is not really a woman to really like listen to. You feel what I'm saying? And this is Diana Ross's daughter. Now the only thing Tracy really got going for her, she got a thumper. That's really it. Like, but it's like the way she tries to align herself and her values or whatever. It's really mind blowing because I remember this woman said that she would take herself out on a date by herself and she truly enjoyed it and all of this bullshit. But then now it's all switched to where she's dating younger men because they're just so, what was the word she said? I don't even remember the word she said, but it just, man, it just don't make sense what these women be talking about.
More open than it should. Yes. That was hard.
All right.
More open than it should be. But I do date, and it's a fascinating adventure out there. Mostly though, I think there's really good men out there. I think to a certain extent, I'm a very unique sort of unicorn of a woman, and so it's gonna take a unique person. And in the meantime, I have really learned how to live my life and enjoy it and not sit around waiting. I was saying to someone recently that I'm one of the first generations of choice and it's not anymore, which really, there was a window and that has shifted. And I do think that that's going to change dating for women so much.
When you mean you've been the product of choice.
Yeah, like the assumption of Roe v. Wade and the ability for a woman to find her own
and let's be real clear. The whole Roe v. Wade, when they bring up that conversation, if you do your research, that whole Roe v. Wade was all a lie and a setup. So I don't even understand why it's like, why do they fight for abortion rights so fucking much? Like, me personally, I'm pro-choice. Like, if that's what you want to do, hey, do you? Like, if you want to be a fucked up person, I ain't gonna necessarily say fuck this. Everybody got their certain situations. But if you just fighting for it just so you can be like, oh, I'm just gonna go get pregnant just to get an abortion, and you do it again, you a fucked up person. Because like, why do you keep doing it? Just protect yourself and stop doing that, bro. But like I said, I'm pro-choice. So whatever to that. But why fight for that so hard? Like, as if somebody is trying to significantly oppress you, and they use the worst examples in order to fight this argument.
Light and pleasure and choice around how she navigates dating or how one would navigate dating. And we're in a different world now. And I'm curious what that will look like. It frightens me for younger girls because of many reasons, obviously. But even with the systemic protection of Roe v. Wade,
Yeah.
I still was coming up against the cultural norms
Yeah.
of being a choiceful woman and owning my own body and my own choices and what it is that I'm looking for in a relationship and the ability to negotiate in a relationship what it is you want the relationship to be between the two
Yeah.
of you, as opposed to what society says it should be.
Well,
and that's different.
I don't know that we're gonna lose that. I think women, we're used to having a say in our lives.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the whole movement is about sort of reharnessing us, you know,
Sure.
whether is it really about,
And can that really
reproductive
work?
rights? Can that really work now that women are educated and we're being raised differently? I mean, the truth is that fathers are modernized.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
Mostly.
mostly they are, you know, and if you were to ask the average man, how are you raising your daughter? Because you love her. The average father that loves their daughter wants them to be excellent, you know, and they want them to have opportunity and freedom.
And
I mean,
freedom.
when you think about you don't want your daughter saddle marrying some guy that chose her because he just didn't think about anything else and was
who believes
ready
that
at
her
the
body
time.
is his choice.
Exactly. So I don't.
Man, listen. It is so irritating listening to these older women who are out of fucking pocket talk when they talk about relationships, when they talk about men and women, the dynamics of dating. It is so fucking irritating. Like, it's exhausting. That's how irritating it is, dude. Because it's so hard to listen to it because it makes no sense to me, okay? And you got to understand, people, like, in life, we got duties, bro. Like, all that my body, my choice. Like, my thing is this. Anybody answer this question? Who the fuck is taking your choice away? Now, guys, listen. I'm trying my best to stop cussing. You know, my kids told me I cuss a lot. They almost slipped up and cussed the other day. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to make a significant effort to stop. And I've been doing really good. But sometimes when I get so frustrated with stupid shit that some people say, it's like, nah, fuck all that. Let it out the bag, because we got to express ourselves. We all grown here, right? How is it that a woman that's single as fuck, now mind you, some women who are well off financially, if you don't want to be a wife, or because you know being husband and wife is not the end game for everybody, cool, I got it. Because that is not the end all be all, because now the whole thing about marriage, from what I understand from, way back in the day, yes, it was for family, but in all, it was because people wanted to fuck. And you weren't getting no box unless you married them. I ain't mad at it. But what I'm sick of is this whole narrative that women were just so oppressed, so miserable because they couldn't go to work and they couldn't and they just had to rely on a man as if it was just this worst fucking thing in the world. And it's always the super negative people that's coming out talking. And it's showcasing to us, the younger generations, that marriage is just this fucked up thing. Then she said, Michelle said, what she say? She said, the average father loves his daughter. How are you raising your daughter? The way that people raising their daughters nowadays, like, let's keep it 100. They raising them to be hoes. They raising them to be potential baby mamas. That's what they're doing. Because to have the narrative of you don't need no man. Now, I'm not speaking from a position of as if that should be your sole purpose to get a man. No. Listen, if you want to go out there and you want to go be a doctor or, a neurosurgeon or some shit, and that was your path that was set before you as a woman, you said, that's what I want above all else, go do it. Just understand there's a very good chance that there's not a man that will be in close proximity that will actually want to partake in life with you. Just understand that's a great possibility. But to say like you don't need, nah, you do need a man at some point in your goddamn life. Think about it like this: if somebody's breaking into your home, when you call the police, who do you want to show up? You want a bunch of women or do you want a man? If you already had a man that lived at your house, what would you want him to do? Would you want him to be a feminine man or a masculine man that will go handle the situation? Yes, it's scary, but you'll still want somebody there to be there. When you bringing groceries in the house that are extremely heavy, who do you want to typically do it? You want a man, right? I don't understand why they always try to paint this narrative as if men are just these so toxic, and it's like, no, bro. Just because we do have standards. The dudes that you want, we got fucking standards, bro. And I am so sick of seeing these older fucking women, especially black women. That's what makes it so bad. Older black women always saying this stuff, dog. It's like, y'all got to shut the fuck up. Like, for you to be married and you sitting here talking this dumbass shit, that clearly is an indication about Obama. Like, Michelle, I really do not rock with Michelle, bro. Because that, like, when that campaign, that shit she was on, she was telling women to go against their husbands just to fucking vote and shit. And then now she out here being disrespectful to Obama and all that stuff. I don't rock with it at all. Then you got Tracy Ellis on here who's basically saying your body, your choice. And then she gonna say some stupid shit about gender fluidity and all. That's basically saying you want dudes to be fucking confused as hell, possibly getting something stuck up their goddamn back, and then just for them to be all okay with it, and for you to be a goddamn man, and he just bow down to you. Like, no. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not against young dudes smashing older women. I'm not against it. You want to know why? Especially if the older chicks got money. I'm not against it at all. Because guess what? Especially if they went through menopause already, that is a free. I'm gonna try to say this in the most elegant way. Nope, I couldn't figure out no elegant way. That's a free cum bucket. You ain't got nothing to worry about. I'm sorry, I really tried to think of an elegant way to say it, but I couldn't. That's a free cum bucket. You can, not only is she gonna teach you a lot of stuff, you feel what I'm saying? She gonna blow some money on you. Listen, you go ahead, boo-boo, and go be Miss Masculine and bring home the money and all like that. I ain't trying to build no life with you. I'm not trying to live in your house. I'm just trying to come over, clap cheeks, kick it with you for a little bit, and going up on my day. Because when I do actually find a woman that I actually want to be with, that's the person that I'm gonna pour into, and we are gonna build. Not build with some old ass fucking woman I even have kids with. Make this shit make sense.
Think a lot of leaders are thinking about that. You
Yeah,
know?
well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's an area that you don't have to think into,
right?
But I think there is it is a genuine regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men, and a lot of it is because
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner
on that one.
Why the fuck is that several snaps? This is the shit I be talking about. And then so many black women that's gonna be watching this. And they're like, yeah, girl, go get you a young one and all. I don't think me as men, like real talk, any man that sees this, do you really give a fuck if women in your age group date younger men? Like, do you really care? Because they care so much about the dudes in their age group doing it. But who gives a fuck? Let me know what y'all think.
We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes. This is what I'm saying. Tales from Tracy's.
It's fun. It's very fun to share.
Tracy tale.
But
you date a younger woman.
But one of the
Younger men.
reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, what is this about?
Yeah.
Because I want a partner. And so often, and it's not just that I'm older, I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a
Michelle Obama is mad disrespectful, bro. That's all I can say. She's mad disrespectful. And I don't even know whether to feel bad for Obama or not. I don't even know.
toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where
Here we go with this dumbass word. I'm about to go back 10 seconds. I want to hear this bullshit.
hot and gorgeous.
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
So her being a prize, that's make it make sense. So you were mad because the man was happy that he had you? Like, that's where I'm confused at. Like, cause if you got a prize or something, it's kind of like, you kind of cherish it a little bit, right? Like, it's not saying like you are like how.
Sorry,
No,
Craig.
I was gonna say, so it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just
I'm
kind
not
of the
saying-
guys you're meeting?
That's obviously
Too big of a
it's a
generalization.
generalization,
Yeah.
but because I have dated men my age, there
Yeah.
is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as
Gay.
basic as
Right,
that.
yeah.
That there's
No, I
times
hear you.
where I'll be sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my
where's
God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah.
This shit is sickening, bro. And that's the fucking problem, especially when you got single women raising boys. You got them believing stupid shit like this. Toxic masculinity. Why? Because they choose to be fucking men instead of being some little pussies. Because you can't run over them. Because what? Because they have morals about themselves. Because they don't want to be around men who like men. Is something wrong with that? Fuck out of here, dog. And then other people want to actually listen to this shit. I'm gonna tell you like this. Because this is one of the reasons why I say, like, you got to go out, you got to turn TV off and go outside. Because when you actually go outside and you talk to people, a lot of people don't believe the same dumbass shit. It's like a lot of people on the internet that really believe this shit. This makes no sense. And then you got a married woman that's literally co-signing all of this stuff, which is so disrespectful. And then she want to snap fingers and, man, fuck out of here, dog. They are on the podcast cheering each other on about being crappy mates and horrible women. Exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. Man, you hit it right on the fucking head. I'm a pro-choice, but didn't they think that when a man chooses to have unprotected sex, then he chooses to have a baby? Why do they not hold women to that same standard? I don't know. You want to know something? You want to know something like real talk? So I really like I said, I think a lot, right? I think about these certain subjects, especially when I'm listening to different things. I think about, different reasons on why things are the way that they are. And I honestly believe, like, cause seeing how everything transitioned, like, and then like, you hear, I listen to a lot of podcasts, I learn about a lot of different shit, history, stuff like that. If you look at, like, in the black community during like the 1965s, 1960s, 70s, we had a very high marriage rate. Now, as time progressed, all the different things that popped off, drugs, all this crazy shit, TV, all this propaganda, stuff like that. Now we're in an era where all of our women, extremely masculine in general, not all of them, but in general, extremely masculine. Typically, there are way more, baby mamas than there are baby daddies. We already know that it's only about 20% of the male population, especially specifically black men. There's only 20% of them that's fathering 80% of the children. So that means there's significant more baby mamas than there are baby daddies, right? We know that the studies, the data, the statistics, they show that children that are raised in a single woman household typically have a greater chance of being on antidepressants, or pills or whatever, higher chance of being, into promiscuous type things, higher chance of going to prison, stuff like that. Now, here's what we do know: women spend way more money. They're way more emotionally unstable. We know that, women like to travel, trips, all the fanciest shit, even though they can't fucking afford it, all these different things. We know this, right? So I honestly believe that it is a benefit to, I'm not going to necessarily just say society, but I'm going to say, like, I know businesses in general will benefit from it, because if you got women who spends, I think they spend like, they're like 80% of the consumers in this country. Like 80%, they spend the most money. Makeup, clothes, all this shit. If they're leading everything and they're always causing issues because they don't have the stability, the structure, wouldn't it be in the benefit of, I'm gonna say, the powers that be, to keep the two separated to where they can keep on having fucked up situations come out of this, out of it? And then on top of that, the men, let's say they get with a productive man and they have a baby, they're incentivized to leave the situation, and then therefore they can get the child support, and like they can extract resources from that man while still going to do all the bad behavior and shit that they do. So I honestly believe there's like a legit initiative, because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for women to say dumb shit about the like think about all the dudes now. There's so many dudes that are either on a DL or into other dudes, and it's like, that doesn't make sense. I'm not saying nothing about the alphabet community whatsoever. It's like, y'all do y'all, y'all got y'all lane, stay in y'all lane. I ain't trying to jump in y'all lane. Y'all do y'all. But at the end of the day, it's irritating to see so many different dudes, so many dudes just popping up. Oh, they into dudes now. And then women always saying stupid shit about, like how she just said, where, the homo stuff or toxic masculinity, the men are toxic because they believe in being a man and stuff like that. I honestly believe it's initiative behind it. Because other than that, what benefit are we talking about? Like, I don't see productivity coming from that whatsoever. All I see is a whole bunch of people talking, like these women talking shit, not getting the real results in life. Yeah, you can say you are happy and all that, but then you don't got no kids, no family, no nothing. Like, it's just, some of them just get lucky. Swear to God, they just get lucky, bro. I do not understand. As if like their life is a representation of something that was great, as if they're advocating, yes, you go out here and do this, you go be this girl boss, and you're not gonna get the results that you really want. And then it is so irritating when they say, uh when they be like, that how men should support them and everything that they do and stuff like that. It's like, bro, a man is not supposed to fucking chase you. Theoretically, I mean, yeah, like if he wants you to be his woman, yeah, court you and all, but he's not supposed to chase you. He's not supposed to put you on no fucking pedestal. None of that. You are his helpmate, not the other way around. Like, come on. A lot of this shit they be talking about just so asinine, bro. But like I say, at the end of the day, if that's what they want, I'm not against it. I look at it as, at the end of the day, time is always going to tell who is right and who is wrong. If you spent your whole life, you couldn't obtain a relationship that you actually needed, to where it poured into you and the vice versa, and you actually made it to the end of your days with that one person, if you want different people in and out of you, and that's something that you enjoy, hey, at the end of the day, that's what you fought for. Equal opportunities, liberation. You can go have all the fun and the sex that you want. Just understand, you ain't gonna get the results that you typically gonna want, because I don't care what the hell she's talking about. You're not telling me you want to date no young motherfucker when you 70, 80 years old, and you know what I'm saying, you barely can fucking move. Man, them young niggas don't want that. They want their own family. And then when you too damn old, nobody's going to be there to do nothing for you. Let's just keep it a buck. All right. Yeah, I know that was a little bit of a rant. It's all good though. But we are moving along because we don't got time for that bullshit no more. Let's read this comment real quick. Say they are snapping their fingers and rolling their necks talking about toxic masculinity, not understanding that they are spewing toxic femininity. You know what? See, I was thinking that too, right? But I didn't even call it toxic femininity because they're not feminine to me. I call that toxic feminism. Extremely fucking toxic feminism. Like the shit y'all talk about just it's retarded. But I'm one of those people where I'm like, you know what? If that's what you want to do, so be it. Literally, do your thug thing. But my thing is sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up because you're not giving good information to the women that's coming after you. Because here's one thing I do know. Here's one thing I do know for a freaking fact. That's perfectly fine with the whole girl bosses and all like that. Because all you got to do is simply pay attention to the shit that goes on. The girl bosses, they transition over into what? The soft girl era. Remember, it was hot girl summer and all that shit and all these masculine women everywhere. And then all of a sudden, oh, I don't want to work hard no more. I don't want to do all this. Beg me, please. Give me a man that's gonna do this and do. I'm sorry, but like I'm not gonna say the simps, but I'm not even gonna say average. I can't even call them low. The dudes that don't know how to really acquire women with ease. That's how I'm gonna classify them. Maybe they'll go for it, but the ones who get them on a regular and they have that status that the women typically want, they have the finances that they want, they have the stature and they want that they want all that. Those men will not choose you because you don't get to turn your shit off and on to where it's like, oh, I can just go grab me a man. I can just like women be like, oh, I can go get married if I wanted to. And I'm like, no, the fuck you can't. Shut up. Like hearing women talk about that stupid ass shit sometimes is just ridiculous. And understand this. I'm not going as if I'm just going directly at women. No. Because I go at dudes 10 times harder because dudes that are fucking bums, like we don't even need to have a conversation about them. There's no point because here we only want to have conversations about productive men. So that's why when we talk about these women, it's kind of like you talking directly to the productive men that you want or you looking for. But how do you think you're gonna fucking get them when you're not what you're not what they would actually want and need, and you don't deserve them at the end of the day, even though they think they deserve every fucking thing under the sun. It's ridiculous, bro. But we about to have a conversation about China, yo. So China giving out visas to American citizens to come over there and shop. So we gotta dive into this real quick.
They're offering 13% cash back on any purchases from American citizens. And not only that, they're gonna give you 280 hours of visa-free entry into China to go shopping.
Turn that damn music down. It's irritating. Hold on, I want y'all to see this other one because
Shannon Apparel, who supplies the most yoga suits, and it is also OEM for Fila and Under Armour. Number 2, Hongqisheng Clothing, who produces yoga suits for Lululemon. Lululemon sells this jacket for nearly $100, but here only costs you $6 to $5 with similar fabric and quality.
There's nothing a Chinese factory can't make. Brooks Brothers, a premium shirt brand from the States, actually produce most of their products all in China. One of their largest suppliers is actually based in Guangdong in China.
Ralph Lauren, Armani, Nike, Dior, Lululemon, Apple, Michael Kors, Coach, Calvin Klein, Prada, Celine, Swarovski, Adidas, The North Face, Rimowa, Levi's, Burberry, Versace, Chanel, Cartier, Ferragamo, Timberland, Yves Saint Laurent, Victoria's Secret, Puma, Uniqlo, Disney, Max Mara, Givenchy. The producing cost is only 1/10 of its price.
Past more than 30 years, we have been OEM factory for most of the luxury brands around the world. Gucci, Prada, Coach, Louis Vuitton, you name it. But for this, I am not proud because we were only making our wages. The profit margin for the people who are actually making the bags are very low.
Your made in Italy Gucci 80% come from Chinese factory. They just add the logo in Europe to make you pay the price of 10 times.
So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one Birkin out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo.
Hey, yo, so Pete, that whole situation is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. It really is. But see, here's the thing. So, one, the companies can't necessarily sue them because they're in a completely different country. So laws are completely different, right? And China, they don't have the same laws like copyright laws, trademark laws, things. They don't have that. So it's not like those companies can sue them. But what's crazy to me is if an American really went to China, literally just to go shopping for those brands and products, that's really bananas to me because it's like, why would you fly like halfway across the world just to go shop? You see what I'm saying? Like logically, that just doesn't make too much sense. Like is it that important that you got that particular product? Is it that important that you got a Hermes bag or a Birkin bag or a Lululemon? Like, is it really that important that you got to fly away to China for it? Now, I can tell you this: what the ramifications of that would be. I know if they are really the suppliers for these companies, and they're really opening up their borders for American citizens to bypass them to go all the way there, I can guarantee you that those companies are going to literally take all of their manufacturing and send it somewhere else, whether it be like somewhere like India, Vietnam, something like that, or just bringing it back to the US in general. They are going to take away their shit. I know that for a fact because think about it. If you have a product and you are doing business with another supplier who manufactures your product, one, why would you tell my customer how much I'm getting my product made for? That's one. Now remember, the whole tariff war and everything, that's between China and the US as like entities themselves. But it's not the companies doing that to them. So it's kind of like how you gonna get mad at me because the country that I'm in is doing this? Me as a company, I'm not doing this to you. I would prefer us to keep doing business. But if the motherfucker in charge is gonna make it hard for me, I'm not about to keep doing business. I can't do business with you. But then you gonna turn around and sell my product to my customers? That's some backstabbing shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's bananas. So if they really doing that for real, I don't see the company stand there and continue to do business with them, and that will hurt China overall because China is the export nation. They're not the import nation, and they don't really do business amongst themselves because they really don't even make no money for real because of the leadership and all like that. They not running up no bags. They profit margins are extremely thin. Like, man, it's ridiculous. So I really don't I get what they're doing because of the whole tariff thing, and I guess it's like they're looking at it from a position of, oh, we gonna hurt the companies, and then therefore they're gonna lose profits, and it's gonna hurt your overall economy. I honestly don't believe that Americans in large are gonna be trying to fly over there and do it. I don't think that, especially the one like if you can afford a Birkin bag or whatever, you gonna typically go to the store, even like Nikes. I don't really believe you're gonna bypass Nike to go to China to find the same Nikes you can buy because the quality would be different, the warranties, the exchanges, all these things would be different. So I don't really see like that being something like that's going to really happen in large. What do y'all think about that? Like I want to know what y'all think. Like do y'all think the way China moving, like I mean whether how we feel about it doesn't really matter because they're going to do what they do, but do you see this being a long-term thing? And if you do, would you actually shop with them? Like honestly, or would you say F them, I'm a shop American? Now me personally when it comes to like the more luxury brands, I'm not about to buy a luxury brand from, let's say, the manufacturer. It just like I would have to actually be a part of the actual team and know for absolute fact that this is the real manufacturer who we send these samples and get everything sent over to, and we approve it before it goes into production. And when it comes back in, we know that this is the authentic material, zippers, all like that. Then it's like, all right, cool, maybe, but still probably not. Cause it just wouldn't make sense. If you can afford the luxury brands that you want, pay for it. If you can't afford it, then don't. Just find another brand. Like, and that's really all you paying for. In essence, you paying for the brand name. Now, of course, with the brand name, it has some type of quality and stuff that comes along with it. But for the most part, you paying for the brand name, bro. Like, you paying $30,000 for a bag. I mean, you really expected to cost 20 grand? Like that shit just don't make sense. Of course, it's gonna only cost like less than a grand to make. Like they brand is a real prestigious brand. I mean, what do you expect? Sometimes when they like report certain stuff, I just like, especially like when it comes to like YouTube and stuff like that, I don't really see why people would be so upset about it. It's either you can afford it or you can't. If you can't, fuck them. Keep it pushing. So that is tonight's show, my people. As always, I appreciate y'all for rocking with your man. Yo, Pete. So I will be announcing we're letting y'all know where to find it at, but I'm creating my own Discord. So all my subscribers, we can be in contact like all the time. Basically this Discord group is where we can interact, we can have conversations. Like I say, this is our show. I want y'all to like to be a part of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Keep y'all in the loop and we're gonna rock it out. So whether y'all have like, let's say y'all got like a news article, let's say y'all got some videos or something like that you want a reaction to, I want you to post it in there. I got two additional shows that I'm gonna be adding to the lineup to create, more entertainment, more value for us to all rock out. You feel what I'm saying? So make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Make sure you drop comments and be on the lookout for that Discord because I'm gonna have it up so we can rock. It will be up by next week. So until then, my people, I love y'all. I appreciate the hell out of y'all. And I'm gonna get at y'all next week, Friday, 10 p.m. Y'all already know what it is. Peace.